one stream of income is hazardous to your wealth. I don't care what it is. If you only have one of them, then if you lose it, then you are out of everything. So you want to build multiple streams of income. You need to understand that this is not something that is reserved for the wealthy, for the rich, for the smart, for the, none of that. It is for you. So the top 10 things that every entrepreneur basically holds as one of our values. Number one, entrepreneurs do not understand the word no. We don't understand the word no. You tell an entrepreneur no, then we think, okay, not now. All right, not yet. We go back and figure out how to get a yes. And we figure out how to get a yes by any ethical and moral means necessary. Now, we're not going to do anything bad. I know there are people who do things bad, but an entrepreneur is going to figure out how to get to a yes. As a matter of fact, successful people are successful because they keep failing. They keep hitting a brick wall, but they do not let themselves stay there. You cannot fail until you quit. You can't fail until you quit. So the only way it can never happen for you is if you stop. You have to keep going. Entrepreneurs do not understand the word no. But when it comes to opportunity, when it comes to your future, when it comes to your grind, when it comes to your next season, you cannot accept no for an answer. Let me tell you how this worked out for me. I was working for one of the world's top financial institutions. I decided I don't want to do this anymore. I wanted to live in what I felt was my purpose, and that was to go into the hip hop and entertainment industry and help people build wealth. And so I was on a plane ride home from New York to Chicago. When I got home, it was really late. I had to get up really early to take another trip someplace else, but I did not go to sleep. I stayed up hours and hours searching for Russell Simmons because he was doing an initiative called Get Your Money Right with Jay-Z, Beyonce, a whole lot of folks. And I thought, hey, I'm supposed to be a part of that. So I found an email finally after hours. Now, how many times have you searched for something and didn't find it in 2 minutes and then you gave up? One of my kids, I'm not going to tell you which one, but one of my kids, she's not the one that's really going to work really, really hard. If you tell her to go look for something, it could be sitting on the table. But if she just look right here and don't see it, she's going to tell you she can't find it. I'm like, look to your right. Oh, there it is. Okay. So if you are looking for something, trying to get something, trying to get to the next level, trying to figure it out, you can't stop just because you don't see it. You can't stop just because you don't find the answer. Keep going, keep asking questions. Entrepreneurs do not understand no. We think no means not yet, not now, not today. Come up with another way. That's what we think. Entrepreneurs do not accept no. Here's the next thing about an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs do not allow external circumstances to dictate our future and to dictate our present. So in other words, an entrepreneur takes matters into their own hands. We take matters into our own hands. So I have been broke. I have been on food stamps. I've had bankruptcy. I've had foreclosure. I've had all those things. None of that defines me. None of that is going to stop me. So I don't care if you've been incarcerated, if you had kids too young, if you lost your job, if you lost your man, if you lost your woman, if you lost whatever it is that you lost, that doesn't dictate your future. If you are sick, God bless you, I'm praying for you, but that does not dictate your future. You've got to decide that you're going to make a way out of no way. And let me tell you something. If you sit still, if you're quiet, if you pray, and if you just allow yourself to surrender, the answers will come to you. You've got to make a way out of no way. Everything that exists did not exist before it got here. I don't care what it is. A computer before it got here didn't exist. A way out of no way. Facebook before it got here didn't exist. A way out of no way. The pair of shoes, whatever, the house that you live in, before it existed, it did not exist. That's a way out of no way. So if you're in your situation, if you're in your circumstances, then you have to say, you know what? What I want does not exist, but I'm going to bring it into existence. I'm going to make a way out of no way. Okay? Here's the next thing about entrepreneurs. The good ones, the ones who are grinding and getting to the next level. Entrepreneurs want to help other people make money. Okay? A true entrepreneur really wants to become what they actually talk about. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're cheap, something's wrong with you. You're not an entrepreneur. You're not an entrepreneur if you cheat. The very act and the very nature of being an entrepreneur is wanting to create streams of income for yourself and others. And because we live in this world and we cannot do anything by ourselves, we can't do anything by ourselves, then in order for me to make money, you have to make money. In order for me to grow, you have to grow. In order for me to get better, you have to get better. One of the things that I tell my students all the time is this: I am not a good teacher unless you are a good learner. If you're a good learner, then that means that I'm a good teacher. So we need each other. So entrepreneurs believe in a cycle of life. We believe that what goes around comes around, and we put in and we get out, and we want to give to others. Okay. So that is one of the characteristics of being an entrepreneur. Here's another characteristic of being an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur has to be able to dream. You have to be able to see beyond your own circumstances. You have to be able to see that you can be wealthy, that you can have a great business, that you can help others, that you can build a community, a business, an online company, or whatever it is. And then you got to believe it. You got to believe what you see. You see, here's the deal. If you can see something, then that means it's for you. If you can see a vision, then that means it's for you. You would not get a vision for something that does not belong to you. Let me give you an example. I've always envisioned being, helping people all over the world with their finances. And guess what? Now I'm helping people all over the world with their finances. Australia, Saudi Arabia, Africa, Europe, everywhere, United States, all over. So I saw that and it was possible. I just had to believe it, and then I had to do the work. So you have to do the work. I've never envisioned being an astronaut because that's not for me. I've never envisioned being a scientist. That's not for me. So I am only going to envision what is possible for me, and that's the same thing for you. So you have to be a dreamer if you're going to be an entrepreneur. Here's the other thing, another characteristic of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are always thinking about what's next, okay? We never get comfortable. We're always thinking about what's next. So I want you, if you are comfortable, if you're in a comfort zone, that means you're actually not comfortable, okay? If you're in a comfort zone, it actually means you're not comfortable. You've just figured out a way to make madness normal. You figured out a way to make mediocre okay. You figured out a way to live beneath your privilege. And an entrepreneur is always thinking about what's next. Now, let me tell you, it's not always easy. As a matter of fact, it's very hard. It's not always fun. As a matter of fact, sometimes it's downright not fun at all. But it's the only way, okay? It's the only way. So you wake up, you get up, you look at what happened yesterday, whatever the mistake was. I always say, listen, God, teach me the lesson so I can get the blessing. No matter what's happening in your life, somebody left you, the company didn't go right, the deal didn't go down properly, your kids didn't do what they were supposed to do, your parents didn't do what they were supposed to do. What's next? Teach me the lesson so I can get the blessing. And the lesson is always for you. The lesson is never what someone else did. The lesson is never how they worked it out. The lesson is never how they wronged you, the lesson is never that. The lesson is always for you. So what's next? Here's the other thing about being an entrepreneur. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to understand this. You can't quit. Okay? So everything that I've basically said here is about continuing to go and continuing to grow. All right? You cannot quit. That's what being an entrepreneur is. And so how many times have you quit on yourself? There have been times in my life where I quit on myself. Yep, I certainly did. I remember early in my life, I decided I just wanted to just stop and do nothing. Have you stopped? Have you stopped? You can't quit. You're still here. You still have breath in your body. You still have the ability to see, think, hear, plan, laugh, live, love, whatever it is. You are still here. That means you can't quit. You have to keep going.